Good morning, it's Lorna Wagner from Maritime UK, and today I'm joined by Matthew, who's going to talk to us about his career path. Morning, Matthew.
Hi, Lorna.
Can I ask you to start off by introducing yourself? Tell us what your job title is and who it is that you work for, please.
Sure, yep. So I'm Matthew. I work for Vestas on the Isle of Wight as a PLM specialist.
Can I ask you what PLM stands for?
You can, of course. It's product lifecycle management. So it's basically what happens to the design of the turbine over its life.
Excellent, thank you. Right, so let's start with our first question. Can I ask what drew you to maritime?
Sure. It's kind of a weird one. I finished university and decided that I was going to move 240 miles away from my landlocked home to the beautiful Isle of Wight, and I kind of needed a job. I started off straight out of university and got on with a job serving the maritime industry, working on making materials for boats. I left the industry for a little while, and then 5 or 6 years ago came back to it, working for Vestas, making offshore wind turbines. I'm quite pleased to be able to make a positive change to the world by doing my job well.
Perfect. And the second question is about your entry pathway. So obviously you'd gone to university. Could you tell us what it was you studied at university, perhaps?
Yeah, absolutely. So at university, I studied chemistry. I got my degree in chemistry, was quite happy. But the first job that I got, although it was for a company that did a lot of chemicals, it was on the shop floor in the factory working on making composite materials. So I had this wonderful background in chemistry that I kind of didn't use. And then kind of over time, I was given lots of opportunities to learn, opportunities to progress, and kind of went from chemistry into engineering and learning engineering on the job. So worked my way up and gained experience as I went.
Perfect. So can I ask you perhaps what your career highlight has been to date and what your career goal or your career ambitions are, please?
I think career highlight wise, there's a couple of standout memories. I was involved in the prototyping of the Atlantic 85 RNLI rib, and I had a fantastic couple of weeks, actually hands-on experience manufacturing in a prototype environment, one of the first ribs produced. But that was kind of my early part of my career. More recently, I had a fantastic day visiting one of the Vestas V164 turbines. We have a couple that are next to the shore rather than offshore, and to go and visit it and kind of look up and see the absolute scale of these fantastic machines generating green power, it was awesome to realize that that enormous physical thing is something that I've been part of producing.
Cool. And your career goals or ambitions?
Career goals or ambitions, the pathway that I've had through the marine industry has kind of been not one where I've had a clear goal in mind. I've wanted to do the job that's in front of me, deliver what's in front of me, and doing that as part of a company that's producing green energy and renewables for the world. I know if I do a good job, I make the world a slightly better place. So my goal is to continue that for as long as I can do.
Yeah, that's a good reason to get out of bed in the morning, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, this might be a tricky question and there may not be a single person, but who's been the most influential or supportive person in your career pathway?
Yeah, I've had a number of excellent mentors at different points in my career, but the one consistent person that I can really, I know has made a huge difference over my career as a whole is my partner, Hannah. She's been the one that's patient and lets me disappear the next day to go to a foreign country or go to another site somewhere. She's the one to pick me up when I'm absolutely shattered and need feeding, need looking after. She's been there for me constantly through everything and incredibly supportive. So without her, there's no way I'd be here talking to you today.
Awesome. And your last question then. So if you were able to give your 16-year-old self some careers advice, what would it be?
I think the single biggest piece of advice I could give my 16-year-old self is kind of believe in yourself. Be confident that you're actually doing things and you're doing the right thing. Make the choices as you go, work hard, live up to your high standards, and yeah, don't worry too much about what's coming next. Just get on, do the job in front of you.
Perfect advice, Matthew. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Lorna.